Hello. In this session, I will introduce you to bada 2.0. I'm going to explain the history, ecosystem, architecture, and features provided in bada. Here, I'll give you a brief overview of the architecture, features, and namespaces of bada. First, let's have a look at the history of bada and what it has to offer. Bada is a comparatively new smartphone platform. As you probably know, a smartphone platform is a platform for developers to develop applications using an SDK and load it onto a handset and run it. Bada enables developers to create applications with features that offer a rich user experience on a wide range of devices. For a new platform, bada has put up stiff competition to other smartphone platforms, such as Android, Symbian, BlackBerry, iOS, etc. Let's have a look at the history of bada in brief. Bada 1.0 was launched in August 2010, and now, roughly 1 year later, the next major release of bada, bada 2.0, is available for developers. Bada 1.1 and bada 1.2 were released in between to add support to various handset models and to add a few advanced features. The first handset with bada 1.0 was the Wave S8500 with a screen resolution of 480 by 800. Bada 1.1 added 3 new handsets, the Wave 723, 533, and 525 to the Wave family. This release added support for WG-VGA resolution 240 by 400 devices and support for developing applications for multiple bada devices with varying resolutions. Another new feature in bada 1.1 was the addition of an app test environment through Remote Test Lab, which allows developers to test in devices remotely, and a test framework, which allows developers to perform unit testing during the application development. With bada 1.2, the second bada hero phone, Wave 2, aka S8530, was introduced. The key attractions in this release were the addition of web and flash application models, serial port communication, conditional app launches, and the addition of Wi-Fi EAP to provide more secure apps in bada. Next, we'll see what kind of ecosystem bada has to offer its users. For developers, bada provides a feature-rich platform and complete technical support for the development of applications. http://developer.bada.com is the official developer site for the platform. Developers can download the bada SDK IDE and access various help materials from the developer site. The developer site also has online forums where developers can communicate with fellow developers from all over the world, ask questions, and get answers about bada development. Samsung Apps is a marketplace designed to provide a variety of mobile applications specially developed and carefully selected for Samsung bada phones. For end customers, Samsung Apps offers simple and easy downloads of a huge amount of applications directly to their phones, featuring a wealth of games, news, references, social networking, navigation, and other applications. Next, let's take a look at the bada architecture. The bada platform basically consists of 4 components: the kernel, device, service, and framework. The kernel refers to the kernel of the operating system. The device component refers to the core functions of the platform offered by the system, security, graphics, multimedia, and communication components. The service layer provides service-oriented functionalities through components that interoperate with the application engine and the bada server. The framework includes the C++ Open API that bada provides for application development and the functionalities exported from the underlying layers. Along with this, bada has server support for all the service-oriented features such as social networking, location-based services, and commerce services. Now, let's look into the bada framework API. Since bada was developed based on C++, various classes and APIs are bound to namespaces. These namespaces are classified into 3 feature sets: basic features, user interactive features, and service-oriented features. Basic bada features are provided to manipulate data and access files within the bada framework. The basic bada features include the OSP app, OSP base, OSP IO, OSP locales, OSP net, OSP security, OSP system, OSP telephony, OSP text, and OSP XML namespaces. In addition, there are namespaces that provide user interactive features to construct various user interfaces in order to create rich applications. These namespaces are OSP graphics, OSP media, OSP UI, OSP UIX, and OSP web. Finally, there are service-oriented features including the OSP commerce, OSP content, OSP locations, OSP messaging, OSP social, and OSP ads namespaces. Let's discuss the basic features first. The OSP base namespace contains classes for handling a variety of data types and basic methods often needed in any application. It includes basic data types such as primitive C++ types, strings, buffers, and the date time, time span, and UUID classes. The base namespace contains 3 sub-namespaces: OSP base collection, OSP base runtime, and OSP base utility. The collection namespace includes types such as array list, hash map, linked list, queue, and stack. Runtime contains the classes for the runtime environment of any application, namely classes for event handling, the dynamic link library, the timer, threading, and runtime information. With the runtime namespace, you can schedule the execution of a particular piece of code using a timer, synchronize access to a shared object using mutex, semaphore, and monitors, and manage the sequential execution of code using threads. The utility namespace offers interfaces and classes that define various utilities of an object, such as math and string tokenizer. It also contains methods to perform some common functions needed by the applications. Applications often need to access directory listings and to read and write files. The OSP IO namespace enables your application to manipulate files and directories. The main features of the IO namespace include file access, directory access, registry file access, database file access, serial port communication, secure I/O, secure access to a file, directory, and registry with the file, directory, and registry classes, respectively, channel, channels to send requests and responses to other bada applications. The OSP text, or OSP locales, and OSP text namespaces together provide functions to identify different locales or regions and provide locale-sensitive functionalities such as text encoding. The OSP system namespace provides system information, the system time, alarms, vibrators, runtime information, and power management capabilities. Coming next is the OSP XML namespace, which provides various functionalities to manipulate XML, extensible markup language, documents through libxml2. With the XML namespace, you can read XML documents, write XML content into a file, parse an HTML document, and parse an XML document. Then there's the OSP app namespace to control the application lifecycle. All applications are created as subclasses of a class in OSP app. In your application, you may often need to send and retrieve data over a network. The OSP Net namespace assists you with this. This namespace contains classes for establishing, maintaining, and monitoring the connections required to send and receive data over a network. It also provides methods to retrieve information about a specific host using the domain name system, DNS. In addition, sub-namespaces provide classes for managing Wi-Fi, near-field communication, NFC, and Bluetooth connections, and sending and receiving data using HTTP or low-level socket functions. The OSP telephony namespace contains various types of information regarding making a phone call. This namespace provides phone functions, 3G network functions, and SIM access functions. The last but most important basic feature of bada is the OSP security namespace. This namespace provides the cryptography key, cryptography algorithms, and various certificate functions. Now that we're familiar with the basic functions, we'll move on to the user interactive features. All of us know that the most attractive features of an application for end users will be its look and feel and the ability to interact easily and gracefully. The graphics and UI namespaces will help you develop attractive user interfaces. Most applications might need to render graphics and text. The OSP graphics namespace enables your application to render bitmap images, polygons, and text. This namespace also contains the OSP graphics OpenGL subnamespace for high-performance 2D and 3D graphics. The subnamespace supports EGL, OpenGL, ES 1.1, and OpenGL ES 2.0. Then there is the OSP UI namespace, which contains event-related classes and interfaces for constructing graphical user interfaces. It contains common base classes for all controls, as well as interfaces for event handlers. OSP UI controls, which contain control classes, interfaces, and other tools to enable displays and interactions in the user interface, and OSP UI animations, which enables animation functionality handling. The main features of the UI and UI controls namespaces include creating controls, setting layouts, and handling control events. The UI also offers flash controls. The OSP UIX namespace contains special UI features that are not covered by the basic UI controls. The bada UI extensions provide ways of using the device in unconventional ways and give you access to built-in sensors. The main features of the UI extension namespace include face detection and recognition, locating a face in a camera preview or in a still image, finding the identity of a face in a camera preview or in a still image, speech recognition and synthesis, using speech to text to convert spoken words to text, using text to speech to convert text to speech. The device's internal sensors for receiving data about the device position, velocity, and surroundings, namely the acceleration sensor, magnetic sensor, proximity sensor, and tilt sensor. Motion sensor for receiving events for predefined motion patterns. A haptic sensor used for haptic effects with detailed vibration control. Sound and vibration effects, which can be used for adding effects to UI events, such as when buttons are pressed. A weather sensor for retrieving weather information. Then there are the media features, which enable your application to capture and play or display still images, video, and sound. Media features are provided by the OSP Media namespace, which contains classes and interfaces that enable you to integrate audio, video, image processing, and streaming media into your applications. The Medium namespace has the OSP Media OpenAL sub-namespace, which enables your application to create 3D sounds through OpenAL, Open Audio Library. As you know, a significant amount of user-controlled online interaction is done with a web browser instead of direct interfaces to web resources. This makes the web browser an important part of applications that have online functions. Samsung Bada uses the Dolphin browser, which is based on the WebKit engine. The OSP web namespace provides tools for integrating web browsing and JavaScript features into applications. The main features of the web namespace include web browser embedding. You can embed the native web browser view inside your application as a UI control with the OSP Web Controls namespace. JavaScript Object Notification, JSON Data Management. You can parse and compose JSON data with the OSP Web JSON namespace. Bada has WAC and HTML5 support. Some features in Bada are service-oriented and require support from Bada servers. Let's see the service-oriented features that are available in Bada. The service-oriented features allow an application to easily exchange various types of information with the Bada server. The OSP social namespace and its sub-namespaces allow you to create applications that enable people to share data and interact with each other in two ways: managing personal data on the device, such as the address book and calendar, sharing and interacting with each other. Based on this distinction, the social namespace consists of both device features and server-assisted features. Then comes the OSP content namespace. Content refers to logical representations of various metadata types, such as image, audio, and video. Content data typically consists of content information about the file, such as the metadata, file attributes, and user tags. The main features of the OSP content namespace include device content management and searching for content on the device, the physical files and content information that are located on the device. In the present world, device users are more interested in location-based services, LBS, which allow them to determine the geographical position of their mobile device using the Global Positioning System, GPS. Samsung Bada location features are handled by the OSP Locations namespace and its two sub-namespaces, OSP Locations Services and OSP Locations Controls. Location services are provided through a location service provider. These are a map service for displaying maps, a geocoding service for converting addresses into coordinates, and vice versa, a route service for determining the route between waypoints, a directory service for searching for places and services. Samsung Bada currently supports the Jakarta Location Service Provider. Then, there is a location provider and a remote location provider, which offers location information from local and remote devices. Some applications might need to get access to the device's messaging capabilities. For such applications, the OSP messaging namespace provides access to the device's messaging capabilities, including sending SMSs, MMSs, and emails. It also provides you access to the Bada push messaging service. Then there's the most exciting part of your application development, i.e., generating revenue. The OSP Commerce Store namespace deals with such information. This namespace provides classes and methods to allow application users to retrieve information and purchase items from Samsung apps. The available items can be, for example, new application services or new levels within a game. To make items available for your application users, you must register the items in Samsung Apps Seller Office. If you want to generate additional revenue, you can also embed ads into your application. The OSP Ads namespace assists you in that. The key features of the Ads Controls namespace include requesting ads from the Samsung ad server and making ads target a particular audience. Now, let's wrap up this lecture. The bada platform provides an easy-to-use development environment and various advanced features that are widely used so that developers can easily create applications with complex functions. In addition, bada provides various UI components so that developers can easily create applications with an enjoyable UI experience, and for applications to receive sophisticated user input through various sensors. Bada also provides various service-oriented APIs for users to develop service-oriented applications.